and welcome to another episode of the Spotlight Sessions. I am the host, Ilan Fisher, and I'm really excited to be speaking today with Cassie Dull, who's the Digital Communications Manager at CICOA. Cassie, how's it going?
I'm doing great. How are you, Elon?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Really cannot complain. So, Cassie, we've kind of worked together already. You've worked with my colleague Sheldon, but for those of us who don't know you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your history, your background?
Sure. I'm Cassie Dull, and I'm here in beautiful Indianapolis, Indiana. I've been here about 15 years now, and my university background is in journalism, and from there, my career path morphed into digital marketing. So I started out at a private school in the area doing a lot of communications work, and that led me into working on the website and social media and email, all that. And I just absolutely fell in love with digital marketing. I was there for about 10 years before I came over to CICOA. I'll tell you a little bit about what we do later, but I've been with CICOA for 2 years. I absolutely love working there. I love just helping people.
And talking about CICOA and segueing into how you found CICOA, what is it, the work that CICOA is doing? What is CICOA's mission?
Yeah, so CICOA, our full name is CICOA Aging and In-Home Solutions. We're a nonprofit agency serving a local region around Indianapolis. So our mission is to empower older adults, those of any age with a disability, and their caregivers by providing the innovative answers, services, and support that they need to achieve the greatest possible independence, dignity, and quality of life. So I came to CICOA, when I was looking for jobs 2 years ago. There's so many jobs in digital marketing now. I was looking at different industries, and I kind of settled into the idea that I wanted to work at a community nonprofit that's really just helping people. And at CICOA, we actually help a broad spectrum of people. Um, and one of the things that older adults and people with disabilities want most is to stay in their homes, and we help them do that. We play a role in helping seniors and people with a disability remain comfortably and safely at home and out of institutional care. So we do that by providing a bunch of different services. Those core services include meals, transportation, in-home care, home accessibility modifications, and community resource referrals. So people can call in and just tell us kind of their situation, what's going on, and we're connected to a lot of resources in the community that we can connect them to. We also provide information and support services for family caregivers to help them in that essential role when they're caring for someone.
Wow. So like CICOA is doing a lot of different activities and programs, and specific to your role in digital communications, what does your role, what does even your day-to-day look like?
So I, like you said, I'm the digital communications manager at CICOA. I'm part of our mighty marketing team of 4, and my role in our mission is basically to get people to our organization. So that can mean recruiting clients and caregivers, employees, donors, volunteers. We, in the marketing department, build awareness of who we are and how we're solving problems in the community. But more specifically about what I do, my day-to-day role entails managing the website, our social media channels, as well as email marketing. From there, I have days that I spend focused on SEO or paid social ads, video production, market research, content marketing, creating content, testing, building forms, automation. The list goes on.
Absolutely.
But I get the opportunity to work with about every department in our organization. So I'm spending time raising money for the organization or taking pictures when we do a fundraising event, working with recruiting new employees, setting up marketing campaigns for one of those services that I mentioned. Marketing at a nonprofit we do many things, and every day can be different, but all of that work contributes to our mission.
I love that answer, and I've heard that said many times that working in a nonprofit means you are the CEO, which is the chief everything officer, certainly wearing a lot of hats. And within the mission focus of your work and the digital marketing focus of your work, what's an achievement that you're most proud of in combining those two?
Yeah, well, personally, I did about a year ago now, I did a digital marketing course and received a certification for that. So I feel like that helps me in my role and amplifies our efforts as I'm able to do a lot more or do it with better skills. um, but in terms of the organization, I think something that we're most proud of is that CICOA is the largest provider of senior meals in the state of Indiana. And throughout the pandemic, we've been able to relieve food insecurity for seniors. As a lot of people were shut in, couldn't go out. And a lot of seniors that we serve already have mobility or transportation issues. But we've been providing home delivered meals. We've been doing that for years and years. We were already delivering thousands of meals to seniors but we were able to
Wow.
expand that service because we had other programs where people would come into a neighborhood community center and we would feed them, or they were going to local hospitals for discounted meals. But when all those buildings closed and everyone was sent home, we immediately jumped into action and added those clients to our delivery routes. So they were getting home delivered meals too. And those are warm, nutritious meals. That kind of, like I said, relieves food insecurity. A lot of people don't realize that seniors are going hungry every day. So, in the first year of the pandemic, I can't believe I have to say that. We're on year 2 now, but we served 500,000 meals, and that number
Wow.
hasn't gone down. It's remained steady last year, too. So the need is really great, and we're working hard to make sure that no senior goes hungry.
And is that half a million meals over what time frame?
Over an entire year. So our fiscal year runs from July 1 to June 30th. Both of our
Wow,
past fiscal years had 500,000 meals served.
that is not a small number, and also not a small amount of manpower and operations that
Exactly.
goes into that. So, Cassie, another question which I really enjoy asking guests on the show is, what does accessibility mean to you? Because you're working in physical accessibility, also with the website, you're tackling website accessibility. So, what does accessibility mean to you in your eyes?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, accessibility is important to us at CICOA. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here doing this podcast and talking about accessibility and working with AccessiBe. But to me, accessibility means no barriers. It's about seeing people as they are and just doing the right thing. I think when we do that, it reduces stigma and puts the person first. For older adults and people with disabilities, accessibility may mean independence, dignity, and quality of life because they can remain in their home setting, and that often leads to better health outcomes for them. Inclusion is really important at CICOA. It's a big part of our culture. So I think accessibility also means you're being intentional about inclusion. It's something that's really at the heart of our mission. So taking opportunities to improve the way we interact with the disability community is important to us. I want everyone to have a great experience when they interact with CICOA, like you mentioned, both physically and digitally. So whether they're in person at our office or an event, or they're interacting with us digitally through the website, I want them to have a great experience. So if you take a look at our website, which is CICOA.org, CICOA.org, you'll see our headline just front and center there says Independence has a support system. So we really believe in that. We knew that our website had some accessibility functionality, but I don't know everything that there is to know. And so we were really glad to kind of partner with AccessiBe and really bring that full accessibility functionality that's important to the population we serve. People, with a range of disabilities are visiting our site every day. So that's been really important to us. Another thing is at CICOA, we have a call center, and internally we refer to that as the front door of the agency. But when I came to CICOA, I started telling people, the website is more like the front yard or the sidewalk leading up to the front door. So a lot of people, they look at a business's website before they actually get on the phone or go in person or talk to someone. So if our website's like that sidewalk, we don't want to have any cracks in the concrete. We don't want stairs that kind of hinders people's accessibility to it. So with AccessiBe installed, it's like something that we do with home modifications. It's like having that beautiful ramp that just allows everybody to come in, and it's welcoming to everybody who comes up to our front door. So we're just thrilled to have this partnership with AccessiBe. We couldn't do it on our own or, with the existing resources that we had.
First of all, thank you. We're also really glad to be partnering up. And I really liked the answer that you said, because I always think about, yes, you have physical locations, yes, you have websites, but everyone's relationship is going to be different. So whilst one person will want to come to have a consultation online, another person might want to go in person, or a person online may have certain modifications that they need to make for the website, but a person, then another person would. So again, it's really being able to tailor that experience and also be inclusive to all different types of experiences.
Right.
And Cassie, I just wanted to end it off with kind of the last question, because you've worked in the private sector and in the public sector as well, and in nonprofits. But if you had a message to a business owner to cater for your community, specifically people who are aging, what would that be?
Sure. I would challenge business owners to think, how can I give a better experience to everyone? When you treat others with kindness and empathy, they just have a wonderful experience. And you know what? They become loyal supporters of your business, and they tell their friends about the positive experience that they had with you. It really can help you build your business. It brings in more customers. Um, but in the end, being kind is what matters more, honestly. But to give an example of this in action, we can look at something that's actually been happening with one of our community programs, and that's Dementia Friends Indiana. The goal of that program is really just to reduce the stigma of dementia and make a positive difference for people living with dementia and their caregivers. And that's really just, we teach people kind of how to do that through simple actions with compassion and understanding, because it's, we don't have a cure for dementia or Alzheimer's. So the best thing we can do is just to treat these people with dignity and respect and help them live their best lives. But one thing that is actually overwhelming for people with dementia, but is something that a lot of us do almost every day is, or we did before COVID, is going out to eat at a restaurant. So here in Indiana, we have a few restaurants who have worked with Dementia Friends Indiana, and they've made dementia friendly menus for their customers that might have, it might just be one sheet of paper with fewer choices for them to make. It's a lot less overwhelming. Great feedback on that. And they might have special hours where the music is quieter. So it's really thinking about, sensory issues for people. And then since they work with us, their employees have taken that training and they understand the condition better and how to better communicate with these customers. That it might take them a little longer just to kind of process their thoughts and get those out verbally. So it's something so simple, but by including people with dementia and their caregivers in public spaces, it makes a positive difference in their lives, but the community as a whole too. So it's really quite fantastic to see business owners who step up and offer these great experiences to their customers, and the feedback they get is really positive.
I really enjoyed listening to that answer, because the way I think of it as well is when you're doing good deeds, there's that snowball effect. So someone will listen to that story and then think, okay, how can I make my restaurant more accessible? Or how can I modify the experience or change the experience to include more people?
Mm-hmm.
So thanks again for sharing your story, and thank you for being on the show, Cassie.
Wonderful.
And I look forward to our next conversations.
Thank you
Thanks
so
again.
much for having me.